This is the making of Black Myth Wukong Part 3.
Wukong, all sources are taken from Yang Qi, the art director of Black Myth Wukong's social media account. So let's start. The art director said this: February 25, 2018, Feng Ji, the director of Black Myth Wukong, flew back to Shenzhen from Shanghai. Evening when he arrived in Shenzhen, and Feng Ji took a taxi back to his company from the airport. On the way back to work, he decided it was time to make a decision. Feng Ji called the other partners and asked them to come to the company for a meeting to discuss what to do next. At 2:00 in the morning, Feng Ji wrote down 3 roads for everyone on the whiteboard in the conference room. The first path is for everyone to concentrate on making a single-player action game. The second path is to make a popular RPG plus SLG mobile game. The third way is to divide into 2 teams. One team to do mobile games, and 5 or 6 people, another team, are ready to do a single-player action game. Everyone took the third option. Before receiving Feng Ji's phone call, Yang Qi sent a microblog, like a tweet. He knew what Feng Ji was going to say. I was sitting in Feng Ji's office on August 16, 2020, listening to him tell me the above story. Then he thought for a moment and told me that the 2 a.m. meeting wasn't really a turning point. It really not that dramatic, Feng Ji told me. We have discussed this for a long time. And I was looking through the business plan we wrote when we were financing in 2016, you know. To write this thing for financing, I looked the plan, found that there is a third of the content to write, that we are going to do a single-player video game I have now forgotten, and then I went to check the chat history. It really is. Feng Ji is the founder of Game Science Studio. In 2014, Mr. Feng and several of his longtime colleagues who had created Asura left Tencent to form Game Science. Several of the early works of Game Science were fashionable at the time. Yang Qi's art style is amazing and prominent, and Feng Ji knows how to make the game more stylish. By the beginning of 2018, Yang Qi had drawn a lot of concept drawings for this new game, and Feng Ji had already done some preliminary design. But Feng Ji
didn't see anything interesting on this game. I can't stand it anymore. You know what I mean, right? Feng Ji said to me, I can't stand it, which means that I don't really want to play this game. Although we all think that sooner or later we will begin our single-player video game, sooner or later. But we always feel that the time is not ripe, but Yang Qi didn't want to wait any longer. Once at dinner, Yang Qi resolutely proposed that the single-player video game must start now. Feng Ji told me, Yang Qi said that you can always find a reason not to start. There is not enough money, not enough people, conditions and all. Kinds are insufficient. If you wait like this, you may never start. But he felt that if he didn't, the company might not be attractive enough to him. So we started to talk about it in earnest. That afternoon, I met Yang Qi in Feng Ji's office. Compared to Feng Ji, his state seems calm and detached. I asked Yang Qi why he was so resolute in this matter. He said very easily. We also waited for a while. We have made some other games. You know, You Must Live First. I asked him the question again. He thought about it for a moment, then told me seriously. Because I don't think I can work like this for a few years. My body couldn't bear it. For example, I used to rotate for several days without weariness, but now I have to sleep after staying up all day. Moreover, people's creative life is limited. After deciding to play a single-player video game, Yang Qi was obviously in high spirits first floor for the project, and Yang Qi moved down the next day. He, the art director, moved down the other day, and as a founder of the studio, this made Feng Ji, the director, feel very happy as the team was in high spirits. In the beginning, there was no objection to what to do. Everyone wants to make an action game with weak network, focusing on combat experience and fighting with cold weapon. At that time, Feng Ji was obsessed with Dark Souls, and Yang Qi preferred Monster Hunter, and the consensus was to make an action game with a very strong sense of enemy oppression, exquisite level structure, and fragmented narrative with a mysterious style. So everyone started learning the Unreal Engine from scratch. Feng Ji learns how to move the camera. Yang Qi tries to build the scene and adjust the lighting. In May 2018, the pre-research team built the first basic scene to experiment with the most basic sense of fighting, AI and combo. In 2019, the group grew to around 20 members, with the goal of achieving a complete level. After discussion, it was decided that the level should at least be of a quality that the player can experience. The name of this level is Haifeng Mountain. In Journey to the West, Haifeng Mountain appeared in Chapter 16, Guanyin Temple.
The game in the early development stages was never meant to be this large. The art director himself said that the gameplay in the demo was in early stages, not meant to be in the game, but after seeing the demo blow up, they decided to expand their studio, also greatly expand the scale of their game. If you want to do a short piece of engine-generated CG, the general process is as follows. First, the literary planner writes the script, then the artist draws the 2D storyboard, and then builds a simple level.
This is the making of Black Myth Wukong Part 3. This is where things start to get fired. Then builds a simple level model with a texture-free polygon model. Everything is white, which the developers call the level white box. Once you get the white box, you can make a dynamic storyboard inside. They used Haifeng Mountain as minimal workable mode until everything was matured. The development team was afraid to start a large-scale production. Feng Ji calculated the account for me very seriously. Optical Motion Capture Studio. With 60 cameras, a team of dozens of people to serve you, the cost of one single day is $100,000 US. Now, if you watch the 13-minute gameplay carefully, you will realize that the monkey as the protagonist is silent most of the time. He doesn't speak, there are no close-ups of his face. This makes people feel that the motive for the battle is not clear.
Feng Ji actually said this is a standard technical problem.
Now pause for a second. There's a lot of talk about how Naughty Dog makes games that Feng Ji talks about here. So I'm going to skip that one, but one more important note. Feng Ji does say multiple times that this game is not a Souls-like thing to keep in mind.
Feng Ji said, if you compare yourself with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, or even bolder with God of War, you will find that you are not just as good as it. Their library of basic actions and corresponding math algorithms are insane. Feng Ji was keen to tell me all about the worldview and overall style of the game, but I decided not to reveal too much. I can't make much of a judgment until I see the final presentation. This game is not a replica of Journey to the West.
When chatting with Feng Ji and Yang Chi, I asked them, what are you most worried about after the first trailer released? Feng Ji said that his biggest concern is that the video does not get the response they expected and goes unnoticed. The trailer actually got 16 million views.
This is the final part of this mini documentary, but more like this will come soon. Sub to Mr. Random.
Like and follow, and if you go on Instagram, the one that's doing the voiceover, his user is Rount24, Rount_24, and I'm the one doing the voiceover. And yes, that's what I look like. Don't judge, please. Goodbye.